So I saw the opportunity to be able to make an impact on people's lives in a very short time span. This is where I found like my calling. You know, I'm like, I need to do this for the rest of my life. This is what I'm gonna do. So back in 2012, when I was doing the charity truck pull events, one of our athletes, Danny, contacted me and he said, Justin, I just heard this story about this little boy. It's a heartbreaking story. So Dalton Dingus, 9-year-old boy from Salyersville, Kentucky, battling cystic fibrosis. He had stage 4 cystic fibrosis. He was dying. But his final wish was he wanted to have the most Christmas cards ever collected by a single person in a single year. Like, let's come together, let's get our friends and family together, and let's send, you know, a bunch of Christmas cards. I said that wasn't enough. So what I wanted to do was I wanted us to come down to Kentucky and pull a fire truck for him.
Kind of surreal. Traveled all the way from Massachusetts to see my son. Just let me know good people's out there with big hearts.
You good? Yep. Good. We gotta get this thing done too.
Come on.
What? It's cold. Yeah.
Come on.
All right, buddy. Then we'll get you inside and you get warm again? Hey, man. Let me know when. Go hold.
Got that.
Come on, Justin. Oh, they got both. Let's go. Come on, Justin. Let's go. There you go. Sock monkey power. Sock monkey, let's go. Come on, make it look hard.
It was perfect. I knew that Dalton would love to watch him and the other 3 guys pull the fire truck.
Fast forward about a month, maybe 5 weeks, and my phone rings at, you know, like 12:15 in the morning. And she just said, hey, Justin, it's Jessica. Dalton's gone. Dalton died. And so I couldn't imagine what Jessica was going through at the time, but 2 days later, maybe, she said, hey, you know, we would like for you, Dan, Danny, and Steve to come down and carry Dalton to his final resting place with us. Yeah, you know what I mean? What started out as just a casual, you know, like, let's do something cool for a cool kid, turned into this kid changed our lives. And, you know, I'm never going to take anything for granted again. You know, I value life, I value time, and I value and respect, you know, I guess just how powerful the human spirit can be, because, like, Dalton never felt sorry for himself. Dalton never let anybody down or brought anybody down. He was always funny and goofy and a positive role model for his family. You know, I mean, and this boy was 9 years old, you know, and he inspired the world. After the Christmas card collecting was all said and done, he had collected over 800,000 Christmas cards from every continent on the planet. I said, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to try to inspire people to become better in their own lives, challenge them to do things that they thought were impossible as well, right? That was my mentality, still is. You overcome a fear of heights by stepping on something high, right? Or looking out a window and you're flying, something like that. You overcome your feelings of inadequacy and lack of pride by doing something that other people perceive as being impossible over and over and over and over again. And that's what I did. You know, 20 pulls, who knows how many pulls, right? Truck pulls, car deadlifts, anything that I could do to try to inspire people through small, what would be best described as feats of strength, even though they're not really feats of strength, okay? And then I got hurt. In November 2014, I take a fall at work. I was working for a moving company at the time and fell backwards because a customer didn't have a bulkhead over their basement stairs. I landed on the bottom stair on my shoulder, tore a couple tendons, damage was done. And so I'm sitting in the dark by myself, injured, knowing that I can't go back to the sport that I love. Well, I've always had this idea for this World's Strongest Man documentary. I may as well try to, you know, reach out to an award-winning director in Los Angeles, fly out there, pitch it to him, see if he wants to do it, and start production and make a movie.
I can't keep up with him. Every time I talk to him, it's like, I'll try and tell my husband, and it's like, well, what did he say about this? And he just said so much, I just can't keep up with him.
And, you know, people who do that have been through adversity before. People who have never been through adversity that I've worked with in the past are the most difficult to get out of it, because as soon as they get that bit of adversity, they crumble. They don't know how to dust themselves off and get back up. You know, Justin has that it factor for that.
Life can be hard. You know, life can be really heavy. What I want to do is I want to create films that people can sit and watch and escape from reality and sort of just have the mood, you know, lightened and have their spirits raised.
I mean, Justin's a very complicated person, and I think that I learned something new about him and about us every day. Every day is like a new adventure. And his passion is so abrupt.
I like to imagine, like, I mean, I don't care what your beliefs are. You know, I don't care what your religious beliefs are. But there's something pulling the strings, you know, Mother Nature. And you don't know where the wind comes from, okay? You don't see how the wind is created. You don't see the wind, okay? But you see the impact that it has. You see it, you know, knocking trees down and uprooting houses, okay? This is madness. The power of a tornado all comes from something that you can't even see. Well, I like to think that that's like, that there are people like me out there creating those tornadoes. I want to come up with these ideas that, you know, create these awesome kick-ass movies. So what I want to do is I want to tell their story through this film so that other people can watch this film and they can have a fire lit under their ass and they can go and they do the same thing in their own lives, which are going to have that same impact on other people in their lives, and so on and so forth. And so what I did was I came up with this idea that was like this small little thing turned into a fucking tornado.
Justin is a strong man who has the heart,
Outgoing, talented.
who does help others, who inspires others.
He's not afraid to attempt anything.
I like to do things for people, but he is just so aggressive about it.
Someone who loves his community.
It's just his DNA. He's not afraid to attempt something.
Someone who shows compassion and love for others.
You know,
You learn more from failure than you do from success.
you learn by your mistakes.
It's not about the muscles or if you can pull a fire truck or not. It's what's inside that matters.